Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live. And today I'm going to show you how I made a card. It's actually pretty quick to put together with the Excellent Eggs stamp set and the Easter Lilies dies. So I mixed them up a little bit, mushed them together. They're both independent bundles. So they actually both have a stamp set and dies that go with them. And I just pulled the dies from one set and the stamp from another so I could make the Easter card that I wanted. So there you have it. So this is what we're going to be making today. And like I said, it's a pretty simple little card, just some die cutting, a little bit of sponging of some ink on there, and then, yeah, a little layering on the background, and we are all good to go. One little thing that I am going to try differently on this one, I feel like the little center of the flowers kind of blends in a little too much with the background of the flowers. And I don't know if I got too heavy-handed on the inking, but I think I'm actually going to try garden green ink a little bit on these just to see if it gives it a little bit more definition. So you can let me know when we get done which way you like it better, but I thought I would try it and see how it turned out. So hey, Danette and Carol and Pam and Barbara, thanks everybody for hopping in. So this is it. It's a pretty simple little card. So this is the Excellent Eggs stamp set, sorry. This is actually, like I said, part of a bundle. There are dies that will cut out the little eggs in the bunny in the stamp set, and or in the die set, stamp set. So hey, Myrtle, thanks for hopping in and listening at work. So, and Karen, thanks for joining as well. So this, again, it's a part of a bundle, but I did not use the die set from the Excellent Eggs on my card, but I did use the dies from the Easter Lilies stamp set bundle. So this is actually just the die set from the Easter Lilies. And you can see there are some open images here, and these actually will cut out the stamped images in the Easter Lilies stamp set. But you could also create, excuse me, this cold is just hanging on forever. So sorry about that. So there are some ways that you can create just lilies with just the dies. So it's a really great set and beautiful, very pretty. The stamped images are beautiful in this set as well, so you can't go wrong with it either way. All right, so that is what we're using today. Let me set that aside and get this out of the way. One of the other things that we were using is the Everyday Details dies. I did use this little rectangle to cut out the sentiments. And again, this is also part of one of the bundles called Everyday Details, and it's in the new mini catalog, but you know, again, it's a really great die set. So in my opinion, it's one that everybody should have. Whether you love the stamp set that goes with it or not, get the dies because they're pretty awesome. So cut out lots of different shapes. These can cut out some frames. So really cool. So hey, Patricia and Jody, I'm sorry, I almost said your name incorrectly. So thanks everybody for being here today. All right. Couple things before we get going. Online exclusives. There are some new ones that are coming, some great new things to play with. So these are the newer ones that'll be starting on the 5th of March. This set is the set that's currently available, so there are all sorts of good things out there. Go check the online exclusives every time you go and place an order with Stampin' Up, because you just never know what's going to be there. Things kind of come and go out of there, so make sure you're taking a peek at those every time you go in. And Celebration is coming to an end as well. I can't even believe we've only got, like, I don't know, what is it? Not quite 2 weeks, maybe right at 2 weeks left of Celebration. So if you're interested in joining and getting this awesome glass mat as part of your starter kit for free, it's really cool. And I've been having a lot of fun stamping on it. It's a good solid surface. You can do lots of technique things on it without hurting anything underneath. So it's a great addition to your starter kit. So you can actually purchase the starter kit for $99. You'll get to pick $125 worth of Stampin' Up merchandise of your choice. And then you can get the glass mat for free with it. So that's one of these starter kits. And the other starter kit is, excuse me again, let me get a drink. Goodness. All right, other starter kit, you get to, pay $99. Ships for free. Gosh. I hope I don't start a coughing fit. I think, hopefully I got it. All right. $99 for the starter kit. You get to pick $155 worth of free merchandise. So it's a great deal no matter what. If you're not interested in joining, Stampin' Up! Has their Celebration offers where you get to pick a free item with every order of either $50 or $100 during Celebration, which ends on February 29th. All right, with all that yakking and coughing, let's get started on the actual card. All right, so I started with, this is a piece of the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper. It's kind of what I call the flip side, and I thought it made a nice background for this card. It's balmy blue and white, and I'm going to adhere it to a piece of basic white cardstock. So this panel is cut to about 3 7/8 tall by about 5 1/8 wide, and I'm going to adhere it to a piece of basic white cardstock that is about 4 inches by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and get a little Stampin' Seal put on here. All the measurements and details for this card will be on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. And I'll link directly to it in the description of this video, so you can go find the blog post tomorrow. There will be a printable PDF tutorial and all the cardstock cuts and measurements and everything that you'll need to put the card together. All right. Next up, I think we're going to go ahead and build the flowers rather than putting this on the card. So I did die cut ahead of time, and I'll show you which dies I used. And so I've got the flower pieces here. The dies that I used is I cut one of these with the 3 flowers on it, or 3 petals, one with the 2 petals, one of the single petals, and then one of the little flower centers. So that is for each flower, I cut one of each of those. So pretty simple. Ran it through the die cutting machine. That's all there is to it. All right, let me grab, I thought I had a piece of paper here somewhere. Oh, here it is. A little piece of scratch paper here, because we're going to be using some sponge daubers, and sometimes I get a little overzealous with those and they end up making a mess. So lemon lime twist ink is the ink we're going to start with. And I've got a sponge dauber here, and we're going to take the little petal dies. I'm going to tap it lightly on my ink pad, kind of do a little twist off over here on scrap paper, and then I'm just going to lightly ink the center of these little flower petals with lemon lime twist ink. The reason I used this ink and kind of did it lightly like this is I was out looking at, just white lilies and was trying to get it to look as much like a true white lily as I could. This is what I came up with. If you like different colors better, you can certainly do that. Then I'm going to grab the little flower center here. We're going to add a little bit of lemon lime twist ink to the flower center as well. I'm not going to go all the way out to the ends. I'm going to do that with lemon lolly in just a second. So then I'm going to grab my second flower and do the very same thing. Again, just kind of brushing lightly with the sponge dauber in the centers. Switch to the next one. There we go. And then I realized that I forgot on the first flower to do, this is my little single petal, and we're just going to do the very edge of that. And then same thing on this one, just do the very edge of the little single petal. There we go. And then I've got my flower center that I need to add a little touch of lemon lime twist ink to as well. And that's it for the lemon lime twist. Then I'm going to grab my lemon lolly sponge dauber and ink pad. And just going to add a little touch. Again, just going to tap it on the ink pad, do a little twist on the scrap paper, and then just go and tap it over the very ends of the flower centers. There's one little flower, little one down here that I'm going to try to get a little bit of yellow ink on, and it's all right if I don't. So again, lemon lolly is the color that I'm using on that one. Come on, there we go. And then I'm going to grab my other one, same thing, a little lemon lolly ink on the ends of it. A little bit on that one. And I think we'll call that good. And then the color that I did not add on my original card was garden green ink. But I'm going to go ahead, I think, and add a little garden green ink. Hey, Patricia, thanks for hopping in. No worries at all. We're just kind of really getting started on it. So garden green ink, definitely going to do a little bit of tapping off on scrap paper before I go to my flower centers. And I'm just going to add a little touch of, again, I'm going to try to do it kind of lightly, but just wanted to add a little touch of garden green ink to make it stand out. So like I said, when we get it all put together, you can tell me which way you like it better. All right. A little bit of garden green ink to this one as well. There we go. And we'll get that one closed up. And the sponge dauber put away. All right, these are really easy to put together. Just, you can use liquid glue if you like. I prefer glue dots because liquid glue, if you watch my videos, you know it doesn't always agree with me, and I end up sticking myself to a lot of things when I try to use liquid glue. So I'm actually going to make this by putting the V, the double petaled die cut as actually the bottom piece. And this is kind of the center piece here. So we've got the 3 die cut. And they match up right down in the center. You can tilt it a little bit one way or the other if you like it to look that way. So you can put it on a little straighter, a little tilted, however it is that it works best for you. And then we're going to grab the flower center. And hey, Joan, thanks for hopping in. And no worries. I may have missed you saying hello as well. I've kind of haven't been paying too close attention to the comments. So putting a little glue dot underneath the back of this. And we're just going to take that and I'm going to set it in here and make sure that this is going to cover it before so that'll work. I'm going to set that here in the center and then grab another little glue dot and stick it to the back of my single petal. And just make sure that I cover up the bottom where I've got the glue dot on it. And that's really all there is to putting the flowers together. They're super easy and I think they're really pretty. At least in my opinion, it's a beautiful little die cut lily. So same thing on the second one, just going to take the little double petaled and put that on the bottom. And then over the top of that, we're going to put the triple petal, stick them together, and then we'll take the flower center and stick that on. And again, if you like liquid glue, you could probably stick these together with Stampin' Seal as well, but you might have a little bit more of a difficult time just because the pieces are kind of small and not really very evenly shaped, so sometimes Stampin' Seal might not work as well on it, but you can try it and see how you like it. I thought glue dots worked well and held it together nicely. So there you go. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to place them here on my card front where I want them to land kind of ultimately. So I'm going to put this one over to this side, this one here, and then I'm going to kind of arrange a couple of die cut leaves. I probably cut too many of the leaves, but I cut a few of them here. And I'm just going to kind of tuck them around where the flowers are right now. And I'm sticking the leaves down first because I did struggle when I initially put my card together. I had adhered the flowers down first and then went to put the leaves under, and I ended up having to hack the leaves all up because I'd put the dimensionals and glue dots too far out on my flowers. So I thought, you know what, this time around, we're just going to put the leaves down first. So I'm going to take 2 of them, put those over here. Whoop. And then we'll take this one. I think I'll put the wider end up underneath the flower here. And we'll kind of tuck it in under there. Stick it down with that glue dot. And then grab the final little petal over here and put a little glue dot on the back of that. So, and tuck that one right underneath here. Again, I'm trying to make sure that I keep it basically on the card front. I don't want it to be sticking out too far. And then get it placed underneath the flower where I want it to go. And then I've got the one final petal here that, I don't know, I could cut it in half and maybe I will cut it in half. See if we want to tuck a second one in there somewhere. We'll take this, put a little glue dot underneath it. And again, I'm just going to kind of tuck it in around where my flower is at, trying to make sure that it's going to stay on the card front. Get back over there. And then I will grab, I think I'll go ahead and just stick it on here since I have it done and cut. My original one didn't have a second piece of the leaf, but I think we're going to put it on this one. Again, just going to kind of tuck it in here where I think it should land, and we'll stick it down with a glue dot. And then again, going to take some glue dots, and we're going to stick the lower down flower on with glue dots. Oh, thanks, Anne. I appreciate that. Like I said, it's a really quick and easy one, so that's why I liked it. I love these lilies, and yeah. And like I said, I love that it's quick and easy to put together too. All right, smoosh that one down with some glue dots, and then I'm going to grab Stampin' Dimensionals for my larger one. I do chop my Stampin' Dimensionals in half. If you like the whole ones, you can use the whole ones. If you like the half ones, you can use the half ones. If you like the minis, you can use the minis. So whatever you prefer, you get to use. Goodness. Like I said, I just keep hoping every time I go live, I'm like, one of these days I'm not going to sound like a, I'm hacking and coughing and everything else. So hopefully I'll get over this one day. All right, that's mostly it for the card front. I've got a balmy blue card base that we're going to stick this on. And we're just going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere this to the card front. And add a sentiment and a couple little gems, and the card front's going to be all done. So hopefully y'all are enjoying your Friday. No new snow here today. We've still got some snow on the ground. It's melted quite a bit, but still snow on the ground here a little bit in New Jersey. So I did hear a rumor that maybe we were going to get some more snow tonight, but it's sure not looking like it outside. I don't know. We'll see. All right, and then I'm going to adhere this to my balmy blue card base, trying to get it centered and straight. Here we go. Going to set that aside, and I realized that I had a piece of basic white cardstock out. Hold on. I definitely don't need one this big. I thought I had a piece of cardstock out to stamp my sentiment on, but clearly I did not. So, all right, we've got the Happy Easter sentiment from the Excellent Eggs stamp set and a little balmy blue ink. And we're just going to ink this up. Try to get it really good. And then we'll just stamp it here on basic white cardstock. There we go. All right. Close that up before I stick my fingers in it. And then I'm going to grab from the Everyday Details dies this little die here. So this is my little rectangle die. And just going to take that and cut out my sentiment. So it fits pretty nicely around that. And that's why I said that's, if you don't have this die set, you definitely should get it because it fits around lots of things. So, oh, you're getting snow? You guys didn't get very much last time around, I think. So just came in where to get the DSP from. This is from the Lighter Than Air Designer Series paper pack. It's a 6x6 pack that is in the current mini catalog. It's the one with the hot air balloon stamp set bundle, which this is not one of the papers that is really highlighted very much. This is like the flip side of one of them that's got lots of pretty colors in it. This is the back side, and I thought it was perfect for the Easter card. All right. There's my little die cut Happy Easter. Pop that out of there and get the dies out of the way. Then I'm going to grab some more Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to be a little bit careful where I put these because I'm going to layer it over the top of the flower. So I'm going to make sure I put the Stampin' Dimensionals down along the bottom edge of this die cut. So stick them down here, and I'll put probably 3 of them across here to make sure it's held on there well. And stick that to the card front. Just go right over the top of the flowers. Try to get it on here straight. Doesn't need to be centered, thank goodness. So, all right, there we go. The last little thing that I'm going to add to the card front is some of the iridescent foil gems. And again, these are from the new mini catalog. They're really pretty and sparkly, and they're in the suite with the kids in it. I can't even remember the name of the suite right now, but it's the one with all the little kids and the Kid Designer Series paper in it. So we'll add a couple of those here. So stick a couple up near that flower and then put one of the bigger ones maybe down here with that flower. So they almost look like little raindrops to me. I started to stick them on the flowers, but then I decided, nah, I like them better sticking around the edges of the flowers. So there we go. The last thing I did is on the inside of the card. This is a little piece from the card front that I trimmed away, and it measures probably about 5/8 of an inch, and I don't know, it's about 6 inches long right now. So that's just a little extra piece of the Designer Series paper. And I'm just going to adhere that to a piece of basic white cardstock that's cut to about 4 by 5 1/4. So it should fit nicely inside my card if I've measured everything correctly. So flip that over and trim off the little excess there. Oop, there we go. And then put a little Stampin' seal on the back, and we'll put it inside the card, and we are going to be all done with the card for today. All right. And only one minor coughing attack. Goodness. So, all right. There we go. That's the inside of the card. Going to grab my bone folder and run a little crease across the top here. Make sure it's got a good solid crease on it. And that's it. So, I don't know how much you can tell on the video. Like I said, I can tell in person that they're a little different. And I probably got a little heavy-handed, I would say, on my original one, which is this one, with the ink on the flower. So I went a little lighter with the ink on this one. So I don't know for sure. I don't know which one I like better. Like I said, in my hand, I probably like this one a little bit better. But yeah, on video, this one probably shows a little bit better. So just depends on the look you want. A little bit lighter on the inking here, a little heavier on the inking here. So you can do it. That's one thing about the sponge daubers is you can add as much or as little ink as you want to. So you like the garden green too? Okay, so it's not just me. Like I said, this one to me, again, in my hand looks a lot more like a real lily would. This one probably is not as much. But all right. So thanks everybody for hopping in today. Again, I will be posting the details on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. I will link up to the blog post in the description of the video, so you can click on over there and find the printable PDF. It's going to have all the measurements, all the items that I use to make these cards, and all that good stuff listed out on it. So let me know if you have questions about anything. I appreciate you being here. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will plan to be live around 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Tuesday. Hopefully not coughing as much anymore. And then again next week, Friday around 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So have a great weekend, and we will chat with you all soon.